Welcome back to the Nerd Happening Podcast. Back here with Levi, and we're talking about superpowers and side effects of them,
and how they work and all that.
Things like that.
Captain America.
Yeah, his is an intentional superpower.
His are intentional superpowers.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, he volunteered for it.
Intentionally got them.
Yeah,
but I think some of them are. I don't know.
well, not this again.
Because what does he have? Oh, jeez.
There we go. He just enhanced strength, durability, endurance.
Right.
Effectively a super athlete.
Is there anything weird about his powers though? Any like is he super good at stealth and nobody knows, or?
He is like when he throws his shield.
Oh, really good at geometry.
Yeah, basically. Like he just calculates things. Like he can. His mind works faster than a regular person.
Right, and Cyclops has that also.
Yeah.
Where, because of shooting lasers, it melts forever.
Yeah, you gotta, bounce it off stuff, mirrors or whatever.
I think in one of the comics, I think Wolverine is upset because he can never beat Scott at pool.
Because he's super good at
Scott
geometry.
Is so good at geometry.
That makes sense.
I think it's like in the background of like one of the scenes where there's a pool, their little hangout room, and there's a like darts champion is Scott, billiards champion is Scott.
Yeah, there's no amount of skill that'll topple a superpower in a specific thing like that.
I've heard it explained that it is actually part of his superpower set.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's part of his mutation, or
right, is that he's really good at geometry.
Would he be better than Hawkeye though?
That one's tough. Well, because Hawkeye is just really good at, he has eagle vision or whatever, telescopic vision.
Yeah, but he still has,
can see the weak point.
But he still has skill at shooting, and he has to know geometry for that, windage and all that.
Does he do a lot of arrow bouncing?
I don't know if he does arrow bouncing per se, but
a lot of ricochet shots or anything like that.
I don't know. I would assume at some point he has.
I was reading one of them today at work, and he does bounce an arrow off of something behind a guy, and it hits the guy in the neck with the butt of the arrow.
That would make sense that he has stuff like that.
But I've only heard it ever described or read about it ever described as he inherently knows where the weak point is in things. That's why he can throw a pen at bulletproof glass and break the bulletproof glass with a pen.
I mean, still to throw it,
right,
and have it that trajectory and things like that.
Right,
you'd have to be at least very good at math to do it as precisely as he does.
But I guess what I'm wondering is that does he know that he's doing it, or does he do it by instinct? Because Cyclops
I don't know about
knows he's doing.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, not anything to do with this. But do you think you could beat him, having skill versus a superpower, something genetic or something you build over time?
Well, does Hawkeye hit Cyclops' visor and knock it off or break the visor so that Scott loses control?
I think he could. I don't see why he couldn't.
Yeah. I think it's weird that Scott has to have a tool to help.
Well, it's something uncontrollable. It's like Beast. Like his certain powers are just, you can't control what they do. Or like Superman, you can't turn his strength on and off. It's always on.
Right, but Superman's like Spider-Man where they dial everything back.
Yeah, but he has to be mindful of it. For Spider-Man, he could probably let loose a lot more than Superman can.
According to the comics, Spider-Man has never hit anything at full strength.
He has when he was Superior Spider-Man.
Well, that's...
I know.
Does that count?
Because it's his body.
Oh, geez, comics are weird.
Yeah, it's his body. I guess.
Who did Superior Spider-Man hit at full strength? No.
Pretty much all the villains.
No, Octavius was surprised at how much he had to hold back to keep from knocking the heads off of people.
Yeah.
And realized that Parker
could have destroyed him.
Hit him
Yeah.
off. It never really hit him.
I can only assume on his first couple fights, he probably punched somebody as hard as he could, thinking,
He didn't.
I need to hit Rhino
does
hard.
punch somebody hard enough to knock their head off.
Yeah.
Like the first or second time, but it's never stated that it's full strength.
Yeah. But back to my original point, he doesn't have to hold back as much as Superman. He has to hold back, but Superman, Spider-Man could hit him as hard as he wanted.
In the comics, Superman has at least stated, "Hey, this is what I like fighting about you, Apocalypse, because I don't have to hold back."
Me Darkseid
or Darkseid.
Same
from Apocalypse.
I was gonna say he's kind of. How the hell did he get out?
Because he loves you.
I guess he's something. All right.
Yep. So at least Superman in the comics, when fighting Darkseid, is gone all out.
Because he can. Because he's at that level.
Yes. I'm not denying that he holds back or doesn't hold back.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the point I'm making is that Spider-Man has never fully hit anything with all of his strength.
I think.
It's Spider-Man can lift something like.
I think he's in the 10-ton range.
153 tons.
Is it?
Is the most
I thought he was in the
ever
10-ton
lifted.
range.
He's one of the. He's.
I know
his strength is up there with Hulk.
Really?
Yeah, he's on the Marvel scale. He's like a 5 or a 6. Hulk is a 7, the strongest.
Because I could have swore when I looked it up, he was in the 10 to 20 ton range. Sonny, get down.
I'm not 100%, but I'm pretty sure it's that.
Quick Google right here. 'Cause I'll be really surprised if he's that powerful.
Proportional strength of a Spider-Man.
I guess, yeah. Let's see, Peter Parker, 616. I wonder if it will state how strong he is.
Should be on the Marvel Power Grid.
I'm on the Marvel
Wiki.
fandom. Yeah, the wiki.
I think it's down at the bottom.
I'm just gonna Google his
There you
strength.
Jeez, oh Pete, Sonny.
Yeah, he's
so
relentless.
bad.
Huh. Yeah, Marvel fandom. Oh, it enables him to press approximately 100 tons. That's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
That's Earth 13. Spider-Man, Peter Parker, 25 tons. That was Spider-Man from Earth 13. That's like Cosmic Spider-Man.
Well, maybe. Okay. All right, I'll give it to you. All right, 20 tons it is. But still, that's
25. That's still ridiculous.
Yeah.
People do really underestimate Spider-Man.
Well,
by a lot.
because he's a teenage kid.
Yeah. And he has that fear of, I think he still has that fear of hurting people.
Oh, yeah, definitely. But yeah, the strength levels are insane. Some of them are crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Like She-Hulk.
Oh, yeah. She's way stronger than people think.
Do you know how she figured out how to get stronger by herself?
How'd she do that?
Okay, so Hulk gets stronger the angrier he gets, right?
Mm-hmm.
She-Hulk can transform at will.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't have, it's not tied to an emotion or anger.
It is now.
It is now. But back in the 70s or 80s, she figured out the better she was in shape as Jennifer.
The more it translated over.
The more it translated over.
Okay. That makes a lot of sense, actually.
Yeah. I know. I hope the She-Hulk series comes out and is good.
It might be. 'Cause they changed her more for the more recent stuff.
Yeah.
They made her kind of Hulk's replacement.
Doesn't she make an appearance in the Daredevil Netflix?
No.
I thought she did.
I don't think so.
That would have been a cool little nod.
If they just maybe, it'd been cool if they mentioned her like in passing as a lawyer.
Or like Murdoch had said hello to, oh, hey, Jennifer. In
Yeah.
the hall or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they might not have the rights to her.
I doubt that they do.
They could have just said, oh, hey, that's Jennifer. She's a lawyer.
Right.
You know, don't underestimate it. Just like hinted at it.
Yeah. Give her like green eyeshadow or something.
Yeah. Like they did in Luke Cage when they said the event. Because they thought, man, maybe they'll bring it in to the Marvel universe, but they never did. I'm really bummed about that.
Yeah, I mean, Punisher was good. Daredevil was good.
Mm-hmm. Luke Cage is real good.
I didn't get into that one as much. I tried to.
I like it. I don't think it's as good as the other ones.
Right.
But Iron Fist was terrible.
What was the one with the chick?
Jessica Jones.
I didn't think that was.
I never watched that. A lot of people said it was. I have mixed reviews.
It was
on
all
that
right.
too.
It was passable.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, it wasn't like
quite as good.
Series I would watch all the time.
Yeah.
You know? But speaking of Daredevil, how crazy do his powers get?
I mean, the whole, bat sonar effectively.
Without having to make sound.
I'm going to sidetrack us just for a hot second. I've seen a meme that was like, a crazy guy who jumps off rooftops and.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And it was like, and another guy who uses sonar. Which one should be Daredevil? Which really should be Batman? And Ben Affleck's been both. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. But Daredevil's powers get, like, when you really think about them, they start getting super crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, in one episode, or in one comic, Gwenpool, the Venomized universe.
Yeah.
So, Gwenpool gets the spider, or the
Venom
symbiote, and has to go to work as her professional lawyer.
Mm-hmm.
And her power is comic awareness.
Yeah.
So she's knows what happens in them.
I've read the first 12 issues, I think, of not Spider-Gwen, but Gwenpool. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And she runs into Daredevil, fighting ninjas, of course.
Hand, I think they're called.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so she has to go to work the next day, and Matt Murdock is the other lawyer in the room while her boss is being an ass.
Mm-hmm.
And she's talking to the symbiote. Oh, no, he's going to tell that we're, Gwenpool and da-da-da-da. And no, because we smell completely different. I've made a scent that smells like a fancy perfume from the universe. After the meeting, Murdoch knows that it's Venom Pool because of the smell. Like, your symbiote does a real good job of mimicking a smell, but it's off. It's not right. And
not
I can
quite
still
there.
smell you. And it's like, that gets crazy quick.
It does. I mean, that makes sense of his that having the sonar is just a combination of his senses. Effectively and translating to his brain, so it makes sense that all the other ones are
okay. So
super heightened.
Does his taste heighten? Like,
I would assume.
Is the restaurant him and what's his partner called? Ducky.
Oh, I
think it's Ducky.
Yeah, I think that's his nickname. I can't think of his real name though.
Neither can I. So do they always eat at the best restaurants or the most delicious restaurants because of his heightened sense of taste?
Would that mean he has? I don't know, because if you have a heightened sense of taste, would you have to eat blander
you
foods?
Have a heightened sense of smell.
Will better tasting things be too overwhelming?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but eating at the best one, it'd be more.
Does he have to not salt anything?
Yeah,
not even. It can't even be cooked in a pan that has had salted food in it before.
I don't know. Maybe. I would assume probably not.
Can he tell what water has come from what tap? Because your sense of smell is inherently tied to your sense of taste. If you don't smell, you can't taste.
Yeah.
Well, right?
For the most, I think,
so
you lose a lot.
Heightened sense of smell.
Heightened sense of taste.
His taste would be
at least on par.
The roof. I think there was a little thing about how, because they have all these weird. Well, not weird, but they try to normalize the universe and world build a little bit. So the Thing has his weekly poker game, there's an annual chili cook-off among the Avengers, and Daredevil can't participate in the chili cook-off because everything's too
overwhelming.
And
that makes sense.
Somebody wins it every year. I think it's Deadpool wins it every year because no matter how hot it is,
he can
just
take
keeps
it.
going.
Yeah, it makes because his pain tolerance has to be through the roof.
I mean, he still feels pain, but
yeah, he just bears through it. Makes a joke.
Oh yeah, yep. And then what about sense of touch? Because all of his senses are heightened because of being blind, right?
Yeah.
So he's able in the, I think it's the Affleck movie, he can tell what a bill is by feel. Like he can feel.
I don't know because he was folding his money when he was. When I was a kid, I was like, this movie's awesome.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I watched it like 4 times. Oh yeah.
Now I'm an adult. I'm like, this isn't that great. But I remember him folding his money, putting it away.
But he knew what it was.
Probably. Maybe he just did that for optics.
Maybe it's in the comics. He couldn't tell.
Maybe. Unless he just did that for optics. Because I remember him having him in separate
you're right.
plastic containers.
But does he do that just to play up the being blind?
I don't know.
Because that's how blind people have to keep their money. And that's how blind people get dressed, by having shapes.
Yeah, that makes
on
sense.
their outfits so that they can tell if their outfits match.
Yeah.
So if I'm wearing the triangles today, I'm wearing the squares tomorrow, I'm wearing the stars Friday, right?
I mean, it's the movie. It's not quite as detailed as the comic.
If his sense of feeling or his sensation of touch is heightened, right? Does he have to wear like silk socks because Hanes are too rough on his feet? Does he have to wear a certain type of pant because the other ones are too harsh?
I don't know.
Would walking at the beach be a pain in the ass because of the sand?
Feeling gritty
And blowing against his skin?
I don't know.
The real question here, though, is how quick does Elektra get him off? That's the real question here, is with the heightened sensation of touch. Like,
I don't know. There's probably a lot of acrobatics involved in that. It might be more theatrical than practical. I'm just saying.
All I can think now is Daredevil doing backflips. Like, having a 4-poster bed with curtains on it and spinning around it, and then doing 3 backflips and landing right in.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Might be a little flair here and there.
Does Hawkeye beat Bullseye?
If it's
same
his comic.
Power set.
If it's his comic, yeah.
Right? I mean, basically the same power set.
Yeah, pretty much.
So how is Bullseye's Daredevil bad guy and not Hawkeye's arch nemesis? You would think that Bullseye would be, because the nemesis is always the opposite of the good guy.
Sometimes, but...
Right? I mean, all the good ones, Venom, Apocalypse, or Doomsday.
Well, like with Venom and
Joker
and Spider-Man, they effectively have the same power sets, but Venom...
that's because Venom was made for Spider-Man.
But Venom circumvents his spider sense.
Right.
He can't detect him.
Right.
So he's kind of he's similar, but he has a leg up over him, and Spider-Man has to overcome that.
Right. Oh, yeah. There's always the one thing, like, the Joker's ability to kill.
Yeah, his ruthlessness.
Batman has to get over that ruthlessness.
Yeah.
So Bullseye, right? Almost the exact opposite of Hawkeye. How did he end up as Daredevil's arch nemesis, or one of them? Like, that just doesn't. Seems like that would be like once a year, the Avengers would have to fight Bullseye and Hawkeye. Oh no, I've got this guy, and it would be Hawkeye's one comic of the year where he's kind of in charge of things.
I guess it would be something launched at each other and they constantly hit.
Right.
And it would just be nothing.
Right. And it's
that's
can
probably
get
why.
the first hit, and that's
whoever gets lucky.
Yeah, because
effectively
in the Affleck movie, how did Bullseye get defeated? By getting hit in the middle of his forehead with the baton.
Yeah, that was a little too
right.
Yeah.
So how is that not Hawkeye's shot?
Maybe I don't know.
God,
just it's comic book logic. It just works.
It's weird in comics.
It does. Bullseye is actually in the Daredevil show too.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's a little different, but he's way more ruthless, evil.
Yeah. It almost seems like Punisher would be Daredevil's bad guy. I don't know.
Yeah, Law and Order versus lawlessness.
Yeah, vigilante.
Yeah, but I guess he kind of is a vigilante himself too.
Which one?
Daredevil.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying that Punisher is kind of the opposite of Daredevil. There's no acrobatics. There's no...
It's practicality versus theatrics.
Everything is practical. There's no... no senses are heightened.
Yeah, he's just a dude.
Not even a really good shot. You know? I mean, he just empties guns until he hits.
That's all you need to do.
Yeah.
If you don't need to hit with just one bullet when you can spray 1,000.
I know.
One will hit eventually.
Yep. If you throw enough shit at the wall, something will stick.
Yep. Doesn't matter.
Does Punisher have any powers?
He's a dick. I guess that's I don't know.
That's kind of
No, he
power.
doesn't. He's just well trained and he has, I don't know, incredible willpower. It's kind of like Batman.
Like the anti James Bond. Because he has a dude that makes gadgets for him. He's always on the move, but he has no official backing.
Yeah.
He has his own license to kill.
Kind of. A self-appointed
license to kill.
Yeah, that's true. He's like Batman, but he's less sophisticated.
He's kind of homeless Batman.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Murderous homeless Batman.
Murder your elbow.
Yeah, basically. Living in a van down by the river.
All right, so what do you think is the superpower that gets the most ridiculous the quickest?
It would like the most ridiculous as far as like it gets pushed to the max in comics, or
like
because
the more you apply it to real world situations, the more this power just seems like overpowered. Like Iceman's ability to freeze anything.
I don't know. That's really hard because they're kind of all that way, really.
The one I can think of is Spider-Man's spider sense. That one gets ridiculous in a hurry.
Oh, I know. With the whole like he can flip a pancake because he knows the spider sense goes off.
Do you know how Spider-Man's spider sense works?
It's like danger. It's something immediate, isn't it?
Anything that, even subconsciously, that Peter Parker considers a threat, his spider sense warns him about. Right? So, flipping a pancake.
Yeah.
Right? If I don't flip this pancake and make it perfect, I might upset MJ and she would break up with me. And that would be detrimental to me.
Yeah.
Is why I can flip the pancake perfectly.
That makes sense.
Right?
I wonder how...
He wins it. He's not allowed at Things poker game.
Well, yeah, that makes sense too.
Because losing money is detrimental to him. So his spider sense will tell him what cards everybody else has and whether or not he should bet. His mask cannot be taken off. If he is even unconscious, his mask cannot be taken off because he has hairs all over his body that stick to everything, right?
Yeah, so they stick to the mask.
His spider sense, even when unconscious, his spider sense will tell those hairs to engage if they perceive his mask being taken off as a threat. Okay?
I wonder if that's psychic. if he has a low-level psychic ability kind of thing. I don't really know how. I never really looked into it. What it just kind of is.
It exactly. It just kind of, it sounded cool, and so they gave it to him, right? It's based off, when you go to hit an insect and it moves.
Yeah, it feels the vibrations
based off that or whatever
ahead of time,
right? Or we move in slow motion compared to it or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's based off that. So I don't think it's really a psychic thing, right? But it gets so ridiculous with it. So Peter Parker's always hurting for money, right? Mm-hmm. So Mary Jane being impregnated and having a child would be detrimental to it, to him, right? So it would warn him if Mary Jane got pregnant the moment of conception. Right?
Yeah, that's got to be a psychic ability, like a low-level psychic.
I don't know.
Something he taps into.
It's never explained how it works.
Yeah.
It is
I would bet
something to do with Madam Web.
Yeah, like
something to do with the Spider-Verse.
It's got to be because
it works even when it works on a subconscious level. Like even Spider-Man doesn't know how it works. He just knows that it's there.
Yeah.
But is there always a low hum?
Probably not.
Some comics say that the sense is always going off because his life is always kind of in danger because he's Spider-Man. If anybody finds out his secret identity,
it probably varies version to version then.
And he can use it as like a homing beacon and stuff, right? So it just gets crazy. It gets crazy. I mean, apply it to a real world situation, right? Would it tell you, okay, let's say you're at work, and maybe not where we work, but at work, and would the spider sense tell you what to tell your boss?
I don't think it would tell you words, but it might give you a feeling.
Warn you.
Yeah.
Right? Of, oh, hey, don't say it like that. Oh, my spider sense is increasing, so don't use that word. Oh, it's lower on this word.
But I wonder if it's that exact with 616 Peter.
Oh, it's crazy. Yeah, it is. And he's had it for so long that he knows exactly what it feels like. Right? And the longer he has it, the more sensitive he becomes to it. So the more he can use it.
Yeah, so it's not just he's not just blindly like, oh, what was that?
Like he's warned if somebody's gonna mug him. He's warned if the craziest one I've heard of is, so does it warn him before he eats Taco Bell? Because if he gets diarrhea the next day and he's in a fight with the vulture or the rhino or whoever, right? It would be detrimental for him to have diarrhea during a fight. So does it warn him, don't eat this?
No.
Don't eat that.
No, the bag does that. You're at Taco Bell. What do you expect? Spider sense like, this is on you.
Screw you, spider sense. I'll do what I want.
Yep. Spider sense like, you knew. You didn't need me for this one.
Supposedly, that's how, in the comics, that's how he always knows where to be. Is that he just kind of follows the spider sense. Kingpin's planning something. His spider sense is gradually increasing over the week. Oh, okay, this must be where it is.
Yeah, it has to be psychic. Then he has to pull from like the web.
Okay, all right,
it's got to be.
Sure,
it couldn't just be like an internal thing because you wouldn't be able to know
project
things.
It into the world.
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to get feedback. Maybe it's like a natural.
Maybe it's like a spider in a web. When a fly gets trapped, maybe it's something along that. Maybe it's a combination of the two.
Yeah, but that's something the spider put out there.
But the web in the comics, the web connects everything. So the spider put it out there.
Yeah, but the natural, energy of things alerting him.
Animal Man's planet, or Animal Man from DC, right?
Yeah, vaguely.
His power set gets crazy super quick. In which one was it that just came out a little while ago? The New 52 during the reset when they're in space. Animal Man, Starfire, and somebody else. And Animal Man has to keep because there's so much distance between species. He keeps going through periods where he can't connect to anything.
Mm-hmm.
But as soon as they land on a planet, he can connect to all the fauna and remember how to. And then he figures out, like, towards the end of it, that these giant magic giant space whales basically exist everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
But he didn't know about them until some aliens explained it to him. And so wherever he is in space, he can connect to one of these space whales and use their powers. And they have like teleportation and time manipulation and stuff.
I wonder if Beast Boy could turn into one of them.
How does Beast Boy's power work? Does he have to know about the animal to be able to turn into it?
Yeah, he could just look at like he can turn into a T-Rex because he's seen it. Like in books and stuff.
Or does he have to know about it? Like, is Beast Boy sitting around the tower studying nature documentaries so that he can do a better and better and better and better version of a T-Rex?
I think so. I'm not exactly sure how it works, but I know if he like I said, he's become dinosaurs, so.
Right. Well, because Animal Man is tapped into the red in the comics that connects all life and wherever he's at.
Yeah, I don't think Beast Boy works like that. I think
that's
his
what
is
I'm
all
wondering.
just internalized.
Does he have to?
He doesn't. I don't think he has to come in
like
contact
the
with
first
them.
time he changed into an animal, right? Was it like a really bad animal? Like,
I don't think so.
It was like he saw a dog and tried to turn into a dog.
No, I think he can do it perfectly.
Okay,
every
so
time.
how does he know?
I think it's
just instinct.
I think it could be. Maybe it's just built in, like, we've shared genetic code with everything on the planet. We're all, I think he can probably.
So if he goes to another planet, can he pull out of their animal fauna?
I think so.
Because I don't think I've ever seen it.
I know I saw one of the cartoons. I don't know. This isn't quite. I'm not really familiar with comic book Beast Boy.
Right. Neither am I. I don't know anybody who is.
The Teen Titans cartoon, he went to some other planet and he just like shape-shifted automatically. Like, it wasn't in his control and he became a different animal. He's like, oh, what the fuck?
I think I know what you're talking. Was that Go or
I think it was the original one. I haven't really watched any of Go.
Because I don't think you're a big Go fan.
No.
Yeah. I don't know. That's one of those powers that it's just, it works because it works.
Yeah. I think he can just look at something and replicate it. Probably to a certain extent.
Right. No. What's in that? Cyborg's powers get crazy super quick.
I mean, he's just a machine. I wouldn't count that as a power.
His ability to integrate machines that he knew nothing about and quickly take them over. He is a living embodiment of the internet. Yeah,
but I don't consider that a superpower.
That's his power set.
Yeah, I would. Right? I guess that power. Is it a superpower if anyone can have it?
I would think so, because anybody could be Batman.
Yeah, but he doesn't have superpowers.
Yeah, he's rich. Yeah, that's his superpower.
You know what the best superpower is?
Being rich.
No. Having somebody else's money to be a superhero. I don't need to be rich. I just need to know rich people.
I just have to be this adult man's slave for a while.
Exactly. I just have to go out when I'm like 10 and fight crime.
Like dangerous murderers.
Yeah.
Whenever my boss tells me to, it's just what I do. You guys
and
don't
wear
do
spandex.
That.
Don't worry about it.
Where are those stories?
People wearing spandex?
No, the stories of like Robin at school telling his classmates about this great new job he got where, oh, my boss is teaching me how to fight, and
I feel like maybe
I got to fight the Riddler a couple of weeks ago.
Maybe Jason Todd would do some shit like that. I think Dick Grayson
that's
would
why
be
he got
more
killed off.
Yeah, probably. People didn't really like him.
Yeah. I don't know why. The one after Jason Todd people really liked.
Yeah, Tim Drake.
Yeah, Tim Drake.
Well, every Robin is every Robin is like almost a facet of Batman.
Mm-hmm.
Dick Grayson he's the combat ability. He's very agile. He's used these screamer sticks.
Amazing mullet.
Yes, the best.
Amazing mullet.
Top 10. Where like Tim Drake is the detective. Even Ra's al Ghul calls him detective, and he doesn't do that for just anybody.
Right.
But like Jason Todd is just the anger, the recklessness. That's what got him.
The vengeance.
Yeah, he had a lot of that because there was a whole thing where he found out about his parents and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And like, how was it? The Joker got his parents to double cross him or something like that, and that ended up leading to him dying. I can't remember exactly. I haven't read it in forever.
I want to back up just a second and go back to Nightwing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Nightwing and Starfire have a child, correct?
Probably in certain.
I'm pretty
canons.
sure that
I would assume
in some timeline universe they have a child.
Mm-hmm.
Does the child get Starfire's powers?
I don't know.
Right?
Probably at a reduced ability.
And Nightwing's training, because then we're talking like
super powerful.
Super powerful.
Yeah. I feel like
give Superman like not a run for his money, but a decent sparring partner.
Maybe would her
Because Starfire is super strong.
Yeah, she is.
Right?
Yeah,
pretty
flight.
Indestructible. Flight.
Mm-hmm. The lasers, energy abilities.
Energy blasts, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you add on to it Nightwing's training and gadgets. Right?
Yeah. I mean, he might go to fight him. Nice thing,
I think we just came up with a secret adversary for Superman in an upcoming comic.
I think that could just be Wonder Woman.
You think that's just Wonder Woman?
Yeah. Because, I mean, she has the God-forged weapons. Her tiara can already cut through Superman's skin. She's almost not, if not equal in strength, depending on the comic.
But she doesn't have the energy blast.
No, that's true.
She doesn't have Batman's arsenal of...
She's the whip, or the lasso.
The whip.
All her shit's ancient, man. Whip, lasso.
Right. How is Chitara a Wonder Woman villain?
Because she was made before Wonder Woman got super powerful.
I mean, she's not even... like I don't know how Chitara even takes a hit from Wonder Woman anymore.
She's got to be just... I think they'd have to make her like flash fast to be able to really...
Okay, so she's tapped into the feet.
No. I mean, somehow. just her natural ability. I don't know really much about her, but I'm saying if they make her viable, because Wonder Woman used to never be super fast, super strong. She never used to be able to fly. She just was, I guess probably more. She probably had some enhanced.
She was
strength.
more like Captain America than Superman.
Yeah, just
when
so
she
highly
first started,
but highly trained.
Right.
Just ruthless.
A little bit stronger.
Yeah.
A little bit more agile, but not.
Yeah.
Not pantheon of the gods level. Right.
But if they made her now, Cheetah, Chitara is the Thundercat.
Oh yeah. Yep, you're right. Yep.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of the same.
Can you blame me?
Yeah.
I mean, Chitara. Everybody loves Chitara.
For different reasons, yeah.
No, for the
Rule
same
30,
reason.
Rule 34. They would have to make her super fast. Just ridiculous fast. Similar, like Flash level fast. Not necessarily the Speed Force. But that just may be like a mutation she has that makes her super fast, makes her more durable. Because that's also part of the Flash's abilities, is he's more durable, super durable, because if he hits something...
Right. Well, and he
kill
heals
him.
quicker.
Yeah, he heals super quick.
I think
Relative.
I think Cheetah's tapped into the Speed Force and doesn't know it.
Could be.
I mean, there's all those speedsters
Yeah,
that
that's
are tapped
true.
into it.
That's true. Unless maybe she created her own version of it.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
That would be an interesting path if there is a separate Speed Force
Because
that the bad guys tap into, except for Reverse Flash.
yeah, I mean he tried to replicate Barry's, so Eobard did. There's another.
Well, he tapped into.
Yeah, he
Barry's
recreated
Speed Force.
he recreated the accident.
No, he tapped into. Well, yeah, he recreated the accident, but he is tapped into the same Speed Force as the Flashes.
Yeah.
Because as long as, I mean, in multiple instances, as long as he's moving, Flash can't get fast enough to do X.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah, he siphons a little bit off from him.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Or,
He also, watch out, he's gonna kick your keys off there.
Oh, that's fine. I don't need him.
In the darkest or blackest night, he effectively couldn't be killed because he came back as a zombie. They couldn't get rid of him because he's not tied to any top point in time. So he would just come back because he's all over time.
Yeah, because he's that's quantum physics stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand it.
Yeah,
but explaining it would take forever.
It's called get off there.
Yeah, it's how a proton or
it's comic book logic. It's what it really is.
It's tied to real world stuff. The double slit test with protons, where it acts like a single point and a wave.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've seen
that
all that.
That kind of thought process behind it. Is
my
guess.
Little comic book exaggeration.
Yeah. Yep. But yeah, I mean,
she would have
Flash's stuff gets crazy fast too.
It does. Cheetah would have to be super fast and maybe strong enough to, when she's moving quick enough, hit Wonder Woman and do damage.
Okay. So is Cheetah part of, like, Beast Boys? Does she have, like, a Beast Boy type power set?
No.
Where?
I don't think so.
Or what's the chick that has the necklace that lets her get the strength of any animal from the Justice League?
Unlimited, yeah.
The one that had a thing with John.
Yeah. I don't remember what her name was.
Neither can I. I know she was interesting.
Superheroes.
But she taps into, like, in the comics, I believe, it's explained that her and Beast Boy have, like, the amulet that she has is similar to what gives Beast Boy his powers.
He just has it naturally, where hers is more magical. Right. That makes sense.
Where, yeah, exactly, where he has a mutation or something where he was born with the ability.
Yeah.
So that's how she taps into that same thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I think in certain comics, if he's one thing, she can't be it, or vice versa.
That makes sense.
So if she's using strength of the elephant, he can't turn into an elephant.
That would make
sense. That's why we see
sense.
Him, and that's part of the reason that we never see him just automatically go T-Rex every single time, or gorilla, or whatever large animal. That would be way more helpful than a mouse.
That makes sense, because if they're pulling from the same thing,
right? And that's kind of, I think that's kind of where the Speed Force came from, or vice versa. One
Speed Force probably came first.
Well, one kind of fed the other, whichever way it was.
But I wonder, if she could make if the amulet would work on other planets, different animals, extraterrestrial.
No.
Or does she have to be on the planet?
Because in Unlimited, she's been on other planets, and she's never tapped into.
But I wonder if she could, or if she'd have to make another amulet specific to that planet. Or if she would
have to have knowledge of what was there, unlike Beast Boy, who taps into it naturally.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's part of it.
Or maybe.
But to bring it back to Cheetah, I wonder if she's tapped into, like, the experiment or whatever, the wish, whatever it is that caused her to become Cheetah.
Mm-hmm.
Taps into that, but only worked for this animal.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
I would kind of hope no. Just to give her own thing.
Yeah, I'm just saying it's kind of cool when things are tied together. And
it is, yeah.
Tied together. I don't know.
She just had animalistic. Yeah.
All right, so this one's going to come out of left field, but it's because of Justice League Unlimited that I thought of it. What is the Question's power set? Does he have any powers other than decent detective?
No, I don't believe
and
so.
Is he even a decent detective?
I don't know. I don't really know a whole lot about the Question.
Well, I'm pretty sure he was made for the Unlimited TV show, the animation.
That actually makes a lot of sense. It's kind of like the same reason that they made Martian Manhunter.
Right.
Was to fill in for Superman. I feel like the Question maybe filled in for Batman.
Right. Yeah, like there was
as a detective.
I think, I don't know, probably some kind of weird copyright thing in some area, but I know he's only in like 3 episodes. And he's in,
I think he was in more.
New 52, where he transfers to the female Question. And I mean, he just kind of shows up whenever there's something shady behind the scenes.
Some conspiracy theory.
The ultimate conspiracy theory. He's based, from what I've heard, he's based on what's his name from X-Files?
Oh, Mulder.
Okay. Right?
Mulder.
But kind of
whatever.
Like
David Duchovny.
What would Mueller look like in the DC universe?
Yeah, he'd look like that.
The Question is
basically
what it looks like.
That makes a lot of sense. That does make a lot of sense.
His one gimmick is the mask thing that
hides his face.
It's like some kind of weird spray adhesive. He has a special spray to take it off.
Yeah.
And put it on.
I mean, that makes sense. I would probably do that too. That's why everybody wears a mask.
Nobody can take it off. Yeah. It's just, and he's from originally, I think, from like the 40s or 50s.
That makes sense. The aesthetic.
And then they brought him back. I think they brought him back hoping to have like what's a comic book character that they brought back that did, like, they weren't expecting to do good but did good, and they kept him around. I'm trying to think of one. I know there's like a dozen of them.
Yeah, there probably
I can't
is.
think of any of them.
I can't think of anything off the top of my head either.
Okay, Kite Man, right, in the new Harley Quinn series.
I still haven't seen that yet.
Kite Man, throwaway character from the 60s in Batman. And they brought him back for Harley Quinn. I believe the comic. I know the show for sure. And he's actually like popular, like, and he's making his way back into like different series and stuff. Or
that makes sense. He's that goofy aesthetic. It would fit with Harley, I think.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He's definitely like, it looks like he was brought in as like comic relief, right? As Poison Ivy's boyfriend. And like his story is so good that
like,
he's stuck around, right? Or Captain Boomerang in The Flash. Captain Boomerang was a throwaway 50s, 60s bad guy for The Flash. They bring him back, give him a halfway decent backstory, and now he's in the Suicide Squad and in the movies.
Him and the Suicide Squad was the funniest bit. I don't know why, but I laughed so hard when they're like, "All right, you can go," and he's like, "All right, I'm out," and he just leaves like flat. And it was just, I laughed so hard, and I don't know why. It wasn't that funny, but it was to me.
I agree that was one of the funniest bits because when he comes back later,
he's just like, "All right, let's do this."
And I think somebody says, "What are you doing?" "I'm Captain Boomerang because I always come back."
Oh, that movie could have been so much better.
I have hope for the new one.
I do too.
But he's got a weird power set.
Was it just super accuracy?
Really good at accuracy and geometry. Like, I don't know how that became a power set.
Because they needed people to be super precise with things.
I mean, but the Flash has got, I think, I don't want to say most adorable rogues gallery, Right? I mean, the Flash's rogues gallery is Captain Cold, a guy with a gun that shoots ice.
Yeah, Mr. Freeze, essentially.
Captain Boomerang. Not even Mr. Freeze, because Mr. Freeze has the suit, and he has to stay Sub-Zero, and he has a reason for doing everything. Captain Cold is, hey, I'm a criminal. I found this really cool gun that shoots ice. This is my stick now.
He's what Mr. Freeze used to be.
Yeah, basically.
Pre-Batman the Animated Series.
Basically, yep. Captain Boomerang.
Australian. With the most stereotypical thing ever.
Yep. Everything that Australia, every stereotypical Australian stereotype in one package.
Makes sense.
What's the dude that makes toys?
Toy Master or something?
Is it the Toy Master or is it the Tinkerer?
Tinkerer. Yeah, it's definitely I think it's the Tinkerer.
Mark Hamill does a voice of him.
Trickster.
Trickster, that's it.
I know it was
a guy who makes somewhat dangerous gags.
Oh, he also was in the show. The Flash TV show?
TV.
Yeah, Mark Hamill played him.
Yep, Mark Hamill played him. It's one of the better cameos in that series. Who else does he have? The Gorilla Grodd.
Gorilla
Grodd.
Yeah.
A smart gorilla. That's his
Bedtime World Domination.
Whole thing. A smart gorilla.
Yeah.
Right?
He's super technologically advanced in that whole...
Because he's a smart gorilla.
Yeah, well, he came from that city that's cloaked.
That's full of smart gorillas.
Yeah.
Right?
But they're way ahead of us, technology-wise, too.
Do you think that's DC bashing on Wakanda?
I don't think so.
I think so. Dude, it's a city in Africa. Super technologically advanced. Right? Full of gorillas. If that does not sound... That sounds
I don't think it's
so
intentional.
much... That sounds so much like a late 60s, early 70s writer going, I bet I can get this racist shit in here. Let's see if I can get this
I like to
in.
think it isn't.
So
that's my headcanon.
It's not anymore. But initially, I think it started as that.
Yeah.
Because they were always doing stuff like that
They
back
were.
in the day. All right. What else is this Rogues Gallery?
I really don't know a whole lot. I'm not really super big Flash fan.
And then you've got Reverse Flash, Professor Zoom, whatever you want to call him.
And Eobard Thawne,
Yep.
also called Reverse Flash. And, certain
No.
iterations.
Oh, I'm sorry. There's two different ones. Because you have Reverse Flash, and then you have, I believe, Professor Zoom.
That's what it was, yeah.
And they're two different characters, but they're both fast.
Yeah, they both have the yellow outfit, too.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, I think you're right. And there's he has more rogues than that, but they're all like along that bad late 50s, 60s, early 70s single issue throwaway Batman.
Kinda, yeah.
Is kind of their shtick.
Like Thawne, he came from the future, and they added more onto him later
the only
on.
serious one.
Yeah.
The rest of them are all Captain Kite.
Yeah.
And Calendar Man. and I think it's... Let's see if we can do this one. Yeah, what bad character can we get for the Flash to beat up this week?
Super easy, beatable characters, which kind of lends Flash to... Like when Justice League stuff happens, or he's fighting with somebody else and they have to fight, like somebody on a bigger level, he goes like, "Oh, I'm in over my head.
Yep.
I fight criminals wearing costumes."
Yep.
And this dude is,
I fight guys who throw toys at me.
Yes, and this guy can, he's
can destroy
sparring
a
with
planet.
Superman. What do I do? What do I do?
Flash is the heart of the Justice League. I swear to God, he is.
He's the funny bone.
He's at least the class clown.
He is. All of them are.
No, I mean, like...
Yeah, Barry Allen.
the Flash is the... Or are you talking all of the different Flashes are?
I mean, they all have a sense of humor,
Oh, yeah.
it seems like.
Well, nothing that they run into is really that big of a deal to them because of how much more powerful they are than all... Like, I bet that I bet that he just tells Captain Cold that he slips on ice, and he really doesn't.
He just feels
He
bad
just
for him.
feels bad for him and overplays it for him. I bet that he, oh no, Tinkerer, you've caught me in your
He probably got
finger
caught off.
trap.
He probably got caught off guard the first time. And he's like,
Yep.
oh, that made him feel special.
Yep, exactly. Oh, hey, look at what a great day I'm making for him.
Yeah.
And then every time it's now that.
But now you're going to prison.
Yep. Well, in the one episode, the Tinker, whatever, they find him in the bar, and he's on the day of the
He's off
Flash
his
Museum
medication.
and off his medication,
Yeah.
and he talks to him, and this is how he my headcanon is that is how he treats all of his
Yeah.
arch nemesis.
Well, he just sees them as
is
people.
They're people. They're not really bad.
Mhm.
They just have an imbalance or an illness or some kind of mental issue.
Yeah, he sees people who need help, and he tries to help them.
Exactly. And that's why I think he's the heart of the Justice League.
Yeah.
God, how do we keep getting back on DC?
I don't know. It's just
I don't know.
it's in the air.
I don't know.
He's kind of like Batman, but Batman also punches people.
Right. Batman's doing it. Like, seriously, this is like, the Flash is like a fun part-time job for Barry Allen. He's really the criminal investigator,
CSI guy.
CSS guy. And
Yeah. Ooh, excuse me.
I don't know. All right, so what do you think the craziest superpower is in general?
Oh, warping reality.
Yeah?
Yeah. That's just, it gets so ridiculous.
What about, like, Captain Britain? Do you know much about Captain
Not
Britain
really,
and
no.
Excalibur?
Mm-mm.
Or magic? Or any of that group of mutants?
No, I never got into that stuff. I had one or two comics, but I
Okay,
just never.
New Mutants is coming out, so you're going to learn a little bit about magic.
Mm-hmm.
Magic is Colossus's sister,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah, I remember
And
his
at a
mutant
young
sister.
age, she got taken to this realm called the Demon Realm.
Mm-hmm.
And she took over. She is like the queen of the demons
Okay.
in the Demon Realm, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she has this other persona called the Demon Child, who is super strong and magic and fights with a demon sword. And the sword that she carries is the demon sword.
Mm-hmm.
And in our reality, her power is teleportation,
Mm-hmm.
right? And she teleports by creating discs that go into the demon realm and then out somewhere else in our world.
Kind of like Nightcrawler.
Kind of like Nightcrawler in Hell. That's in that power set gets super crazy, super fast, because when she's in the demon realm, she can perform magic.
Mm-hmm.
She can shoot like lightning and blasts and energy blasts, and she's super durable in our world. Captain Britain, kind of a similar thing. He's like Captain America, but Britain.
Makes
Right.
sense.
But there is an infinite amount of them
Mm-hmm. I remember
because there's different
the
dimensions.
Spider-Geddon. There was Spider-Man Captain Britain. I remember seeing him.
There's a
Yeah.
comic book series called the Captain Britain Corpse, where they're like all of them.
Yeah, like the Council of Reeds, but Captain Britain.
Yeah, yeah, and they all are the same person like they're all the same, have the same name, whatever.
Yeah.
And they travel through different dimensions and save stuff, and it's crazy. Who else? Shadowcat is on Excalibur.
Okay.
The girl that can phase.
Yeah, I know. Kitty Pryde.
Kitty Pryde.
Yeah.
Okay. Kitty Pryde in Excalibur has a purple dragon pet, Locky. Lokke. I think it's called Locky.
It's different.
There's somebody from Mojo World on their team. Pyro, or not Pyro, but what's his name?
Somebody with similar
Sunfire.
powers. Okay, yeah.
Sunfire, who's Native American.
Mm-hmm.
Da 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 da. there's the girl that turns into the wolf, who's Catholic, and
I don't know.
thinks that she's possessed by a demon because she can transform into this giant wolf monster thing. There's the human cannonball. What's his name? Rusty something, and he's from like Kansas, and he's the human cannonball. Like he can take off in a direction, and he's kind of like Juggernaut, where as long as he's
moving, he can't
be stopped.
Okay,
but
I feel like I've seen him in the animated series of X-Men.
His legs turn into a cannon shot.
Okay,
like it looks like a jet engine is coming out of his waist.
I feel like he was in animated series of X-Men.
Well, right now there's Marvel Legend action figures of some of these guys. I know Cannonball is all over the place, along with Boom Boom.
Okay.
Do you know who Boom Boom is? This power's kind of cool. Boom Boom is a typical 1980s teenager in the comics, right? And part of this in Excalibur and New Mutants has a lot of crossover. So Cannonball, Sunfire, the Wolf Chick, and Boom Boom are all New Mutants.
Okay.
Okay. But she can make timed explosions. Right? So she makes like these little, like almost like she's always blowing bubble gum and popping bubble gum, and she can blow these little bubbles that are timed explosions.
Okay.
And who else? There's one other one. Anyways, the New Mutants movie is about this group, and it's the Demon Bear saga is what the new movie is about. And if you have never read Demon Bear, the New Mutants Demon Bear, oh my gosh. It's up there with Blackest Night. It's one of the best comic series.
Okay. Yeah, I never heard of it. I never got into like Excalibur and all that. Like X-Men is probably about the most mutant thing I've gotten into.
Well, the mutants get crazy too.
Oh yeah, because there's an infinite amount of combinations you can do with them.
Like some of the new stuff. Some of the new ones are like Legion. Legion is insane.
He's everybody. He's anything basically. You want to write him to be.
You want to talk about reality bending.
Yeah.
Well, he's not anybody that you want him to be. Because he has multiple personalities.
It's all up here, and every time he has another one come out, it's a different power.
Well, not only that, but he doesn't have control.
Yeah.
He doesn't know what personality is going to come out. He's not even sure that he's real.
Let's say, is he the original and they just come out?
So Legion is really, at least in continuity, Legion is Moyer Taggett? Moyer.
I know he's Professor X's son, right?
You're right. He's
Yeah.
Professor Charles Xavier's son with Moyer McTaggart, I think it is. She was really big in the 60s and 70s. She was in X-Men First Class, the Burnett that works with the CIA, FBI agency.
Yeah.
That's Moyer. And in the comics, I mean, she's been in the comics. She's one of the biggest characters in the comics. Like, she'll go away for a few years and come back, and she's Charles's
love interest,
contact within whatever government he needs to make contact with.
Gotcha.
And they were an on-again, off-again. They do have an on-again, off-again relationship. But she got pregnant by him in the 60s and kept it from him and hid the child from him. Because, like, at birth, it showed power. Like, it had mutant abilities at birth.
Yeah, that's rarity, or if it ever happens.
Well, the reason for it is because of the Shadow King. So, from what I remember, I'm sure I'm getting a lot of this wrong. You know who the Shadow King is?
Vaguely, yeah.
Right?
Just an entity from a different world. Yeah.
No, he's one of the oldest mutants. He's up there with Apocalypse in age. Like, him and Apocalypse are around the same age. And he's, other than maybe Xavier, he's the strongest psychic entity that's ever existed.
Okay.
He trapped Storm for a long time in Africa. A lot of Storm's people, he had them all, for whatever reason, to feed off of them or whatever. Had them thinking they were something other than what was actually going on in reality. Anyway, Xavier defeats Shadow King in the 60s, 70s. Shadow King needs someplace to hide, right? Mm-hmm. Feels a power similar to Charles, but not the same, and goes to see what it is, and it's Legion.
Okay.
It's Daniel. I think his name's Daniel.
So we go to to corrupt him, basically?
So he hides in...
Oh, he hides in his mind
in
with
his
the
mind.
other personalities. Okay.
To keep away so that Charles can't find him, right? So Charles thinks that he's dead and completely corrupts the kid, right? Have you ever seen the FX show Legion?
No.
Oh my gosh, you gotta!
It's like one season, isn't it?
It's 3 seasons,
Is it?
4 seasons. It's only 3 or 4.
Okay, I know it wasn't on that long.
They're each an hour, but they are some of the best storytelling and cinematography on TV. And at the end of it, you go, so wait, what parts were real and what parts weren't?
Oh, it's one of those.
This was what was going on, but that's not what's going on. I thought this was a bad guy, but it's not a bad. What is going on? And the guy that plays the Shadow King in it is freaking amazing. Amazing. Speaks like 3 or 4 languages. Super suave. Super good actor. Switches, like, will start a sentence in English, switch to German, and end it in Arabic. And that kind of stuff. And just, like, you believe that he is the Shadow King. Like, you're like, oh, yeah. This is, if the Shadow King was a real person, this is who it would be.
Okay.
And, but yeah, Legion has reality bending powers. He's up there with Franklin.
Yeah,
Richards.
Franklin's fucking top tier. He's like, Galactus, you're my herald. After he whooped him.
Oh yeah. And that's kind of like Legion and Franklin Richards. Like, I don't know who would win in a fight between them. Like, if Legion gets the right person behind the wheel of his brain,
he's a guy.
I think he can
effectively.
He's reset the Marvel Universe a couple of different times. Legion has. He made it so that he didn't exist. He wiped himself and then brought himself back later.
See, stuff like that, it starts getting just out of control.
Oh, yeah.
Where it's just so ridiculous that it's just not, it's almost not good writing anymore. You have to just infinitely make things more and more.
There's one that, oh, yeah.
Oh,
yeah. One they had to get rid of. Yeah, there was one mutant that had reality bending powers in the comics, and Xavier went into his mind and made him erase himself because he was unconsciously destroying everything.
Okay, no, I was thinking of somebody else. Never mind.
Who are you thinking?
The
guy with the red hair?
No, for some reason I was thinking it was I don't know if it's canon or if it was a one-off thing about a mutant who made people forget about him. Like in
I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah, that one exists. That one's canon, as far as I know.
Nobody just remembers him, even though he's been there for everything.
It's kind of Sentry though too.
Sentry? Yeah, I mean he comes and goes.
I think that's because I know the mutant you're talking about. I can't remember his. How fitting! I can't remember his name.
Right? Sentry's not a mutant though.
Right. Sentry's a weird one.
Yeah, that's from a secret formula and all that. Right. There's one guy from a different fandom, from the SCP thing I told you about. The SCP
yeah. Oh, yeah. I've been reading that. That is really good.
You know who Dr. Clef is?
No.
He's the guy who kills reality benders in that universe because he is anti-mimetic. He's
anti-mimetic.
Yeah.
So you can't mess with his mind.
No. I mean, yes. But in there's mimetic hazards that affect you physically or it's
reality or whatever.
Yeah, and he's not affected by them. A lot of reality warpers or something, he's undetectable, and some things can't even see him.
Oh, okay.
Like he does in one of the
I think I've read a little bit in, like he was in one of the stories that.
Oh yeah, he's a big character.
Right.
Like when you take his picture, you look at it and you'll see like an animal head. Mm-hmm. Like nobody can really pin him down, so he's the best operative. Because he worked for a different thing called the GOC, Global Occult Coalition, and he killed reality benders for a living.
I think he was in. There was one that I read or watched a video on where the SEC was destroying everything for a reason.
That could be a lot of things.
Well, the agent, there was an agent that like survived way longer than he should have, and he couldn't figure out why the agency, there was some code that was put out to all the top
you're talking about
guys.
SCP-5000 Y, where he was in that reality harness. Is that what you're talking about?
No, this maybe, I don't know. I don't remember.
And
100%.
the SCP Foundation started sending out things to kill all of humanity.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and he falls and dies or whatever.
At the very end, he throws himself and SCP-55 into SCP-7 something
right?
Because to reset things, basically.
Yeah, because he was in some kind of weird suit that protected him.
Yeah, it stopped him. It stopped people from perceiving him.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I think the Dr. Clef guy is in that one.
Dr. Bright's in it.
I know Dr. Bright is.
I don't remember Dr. Clef being in it.
I don't know.
I know Dr. Bright is when he's in that teenage girl.
Yeah, because he's in the teenager. God, that was such a good one.
Oh yeah, it's different. It's good though.
Yeah.
But there's a another tale where it's Dr. Clef's seminar on fighting reality benders, which would make a great short movie because it's all these new people coming into a room.
Right.
He's like, all right, before we get started, and he just starts speaking. And all of a sudden, he's like, you're gonna notice the doors are gone, and the windows are gone, and things are closing in all around you. And it's like he starts saying all this crazy stuff, and then he's like, what are you pulling out that gun for? What do you think he's gonna do? Because he's like, reality's warping around them. And he's like, all right, just take a deep breath. Stuff's coming in because they were like poisoned with something that like a hallucinogen. He's like, this is what it's gonna be like.
Right.
You're not gonna have any grasp on things. All this, and then that's when he's like, oh yeah, just kill the reality bender before he sees you there. You're all certified. Now get out. It's basically just you have no control. Kill him before he knows you're there.
Right. Yeah. Oh yeah. Because reality bending gets crazy.
Yeah. Just you do anything with it.
Super quick. I mean, Scarlet Witch getting rid of all the mutants. Did she bring him back, or was that something? Or was that Krakoa?
That was
How did they come back?
She what was it? She said no more mutants after they went to her thing, but there were some mutants left.
Yeah.
And then after
she got rid of like 90% of them.
Yeah.
Or 95%, something
and
like that.
I think it was Secret Wars or something. Or Secret Invasion or something where they started bringing people back. Because that was supposed to be kind of a soft reboot, House of M.
Okay. And then there's, I think it's, so like Juggernaut and Black Tom and Excalibur are decent-sized nemesis for that group. And I think Black Tom is a reality bender.
Okay.
Jasper something. Jasper, his name's Jasper. I can't remember his last name. He's a reality bender in Excalibur, but he can only bend reality in his vicinity.
Okay.
Like he can't affect it on a grand scale. That guy's pretty interesting.
Okay.
He's always getting like Braddock and them in some weird, like
predicament of some sort.
Alice in Wonderland or, some murder theme park or whatever. I know that was a bad guy for a long time in X-Men and Murder World.
Okay.
It was like the Trickster or the Riddler, but it's a carnival of murder.
Okay. A little bit of Joker in there.
Yeah, it was before like Nimrod came along.
Okay.
Nimrod's a crazy one too.
Yeah, he is a Sentinel from the future. The Sentinel, basically.
It's an Ultron.
Yeah,
basically.
Yeah, pretty much. It's their Ultron.
Basically the same thing. Ultron. Age of Ultron was all right, but man, Ultron,
the comic is ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Especially when you start bringing the time traveler in, Kang.
Yeah. Kang the Conqueror.
Yeah, Kang the Conqueror, who keeps who will
messing
pop
stuff
back
up.
and Avengers, help. Well, dude, you're a bad guy. Well, trust me.
What?
I can't say his name, but he's coming. And Ultron, Age of Ultron, where he actually the entire future is nothing but Ultron.
Yeah, he won.
Yeah. Yeah. And just, I don't know how some of the bad guys don't just flat out win all the time. Like, how does...
It's called plot armor.
Well, you know what Thanos' weakness is in the comics, right? So, what do you think Thanos' weakness would be?
I don't know. That's hard.
Because he's a new god, right?
He's an Eternal.
He's an Eternal.
Yeah.
He can't be killed.
I think he can be killed,
Is
but
he
it's
an
very,
Eternal
very...
or a Celestial?
He's an Eternal.
He's an Eternal.
He's
okay.
he's an Eternal with a deviant gene.
Okay.
That's why he's purple.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, fair enough. All right.
Because that's because he was a mutant, basically, and they're people.
So, what do they do to stop him? Like, how do you stop Thanos?
What could kill?
What could stop him? What could kill him? What causes his plans to unravel?
It's like a kind of a self-doubt.
It is. His weakness is that he doesn't think that he should win.
Yeah. So I'm saying
There's
self-doubt. That's what
always
something like that.
So he always plans something that will cause his plan to not succeed.
Yeah, that makes sense. It would have to be written.
And that
way.
is, he's been told it multiple times. He's told it to people that, or his right hand, his sidekick or whatever will go, "Sir, are you sure you want to do that? You know how you never plan things 100%. There's always, this time I figured it out. There's nothing that can stop me." Like the original Infinity Gauntlet. Adam Warlock getting into the Soul Gem is what stopped Thanos.
And
Are you excited to see Adam Warlock in the movies?
I feel like it's a little late.
You do?
Because, he's the first one, to have the Infinity Gauntlet. That's like his shtick. That's a lot of what he is Infinity Stone stuff. Unless the Soul Stone is somehow...
Infinity Stone stuff because of his connection to the Soul Stone.
Yeah.
Right?
But it seems like it'd be...
Because isn't he made from the Soul Stone?
No, he was just made to be...
trapped in the Soul Stone for a long time.
That's what
Something
happens.
Like that.
He was made essentially to be perfect. And if you have the Soul Stone long enough, it eventually envelops you.
Okay.
Is my understanding of it.
Okay. I don't know what they do with him in the movies. I don't know how they use him.
That's what I'm saying. Like, without the Infinity Stones, that's like his
not
thing.
Really. I think he's used as a way to get Gamora back.
He could be.
I think that's what his use is. And I think he starts out pursuing the Guardians.
That makes sense.
And they convince him that, no, we're not really in the wrong. And he helps them. And he helps them merge dead Gamora with new Gamora's mind.
Could be.
I don't know.
Like I said, I don't know how they'd use him.
Neither do I. And does he have his sidekicks?
Probably not. Maybe not at first.
Because he's got what, Puck and...
I don't know much about him, Warlock.
He's one of those crazy, strong, like, hard to even wrap your mind around powers.
Mm-hmm.
Just like Silver Surfer. You know, where, oh, I have cosmic energy. That's my power.
Yeah, I'm a matter manipulator.
Yep.
I can do all this crazy stuff, but there's still people more powerful than me.
Here's a question about the movies and plays into the crazy power sets that get ridiculous super quick.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think? Do you know who the strongest character is in Marvel?
Isn't it like the one above all or?
Nope, even stronger than him.
No, I don't know then.
Molecule Man.
Okay.
Molecule Man is the strongest character in all of Marvel because he can manipulate
matter in everything.
Anything. He can manipulate reality. He can take apart a celestial if he wants.
Mm-hmm.
And he is in every universe, and it's the same version of him in all of them.
Okay.
Because he is the Celestials, or the one above all's reset button.
Okay.
Because he can destroy everything, including the one above all.
Seems like a bad thing to make, but all right. If you have the one above all.
Doom, in the Battle Planet series, where Doom made his own planet.
Mm-hmm. That'd be a badass
Molecule
movie.
Man.
Yeah, he was the battery for everything.
He was the battery for everything. And it was also how they reset everything. Was destroying every single Molecule Man.
Who was it that gave him like an old-ass cheeseburger in his pocket?
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
And then it kind of like, he was like, all right, I'll help you.
Jeez, who was it?
I can't remember who went there. It's been forever.
Well, everybody was there, basically.
No, I mean, there were a couple people that went to him to convince him. And I can't remember who it was.
Was one of them Thor? No, because Thor was...
He was unworthy at the time.
No.
There was the Thor Corps.
There was the Thor Corps who
Yeah.
were protecting Doom. He was like...
They were like police.
His police,
Yeah.
So
They patrolled the border wall.
Doctor
and all
Strange was his right-hand man.
Mm-hmm.
Doom's right-hand man.
Yeah, he was kind of...
Or was it Reed?
I think it was Strange, because I think he was kind of like his quasi-conscience.
Yeah, yep.
In a way, kind of holding him back.
Well,
from
the
going
two of
whole
them
ham.
decided that this is the only way that anything's going to survive.
Yeah.
And then he's married to the Invisible Girl.
Mm-hmm.
And then Franklin Richard is their son.
Yeah, because he wiped their memories, right?
Yep.
Or something like that. Yeah.
And, God, I can't remember. Because I know Logan goes there.
Mm-hmm.
Wolverine goes there.
Yeah, Old Man Logan, right?
I don't know if it's Old Man Logan.
I'm pretty sure it's Old Man Logan, because he hops over the walls. Because I remember him going to the zombie thing, and She-Hulk's there.
I think Old Man Logan was there. And then I think regular Wolverine travels there.
Okay, because I remember...
I can't remember who travels there. One of them had to be Reed Richards.
Yeah. It's like I said, I remember Wolverine in the zombie world.
Going into the zombie world.
And She-Hulk throws him over, and then she gets devoured.
Yep.
Yeah, but I can't... was it Logan or was it Old Man Logan?
I don't know.
There's a lot.
That would be
so
a heck of a
comics.
good what if.
That'd
be
the
a
most,
good what if movie.
Yeah, they would have to animate it, but that would be an amazing movie.
Yeah.
Made.
I don't know why Marvel doesn't do more of those in their animation.
Just one-offs like that.
Yeah. Just here's one of our here's one of our annuals.
Mm-hmm.
We're not going to tell you how we got here.
This just is what it is.
This is the annual. Have fun.
Yeah.
You know, because they have some really good annuals.
They do. Just give it like a little voiceover, like for for Battle World. Just say, hey, things went down. Dr. Doom kind of saved everybody by merging all the worlds.
Right.
He saved what he could.
And he's a god now.
Yeah.
And this is our story.
Yeah.
Ta-da.
And you start off with somebody. You start with Wolverine because everybody knows him.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying is that, and in the comics, I mean, I don't read all the comics up to that point.
Yeah.
They always do that little blurb at the beginning that kind of catches you up on everything.
You kind of have to do that.
You know?
Because nobody can read everything.
Stan Lee, I think, put it best, is that when you write a comic, you have to imagine that it's everybody's first comic. It's somebody's first comic, so you have to make sure that anybody can pick up any comic and start there.
Yeah, I think we had this conversation last time.
Yeah.
But
I'm
it
sure.
always applies to comics.
Yeah.
Comic talk.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I just don't know why they don't do more of that. I mean, Planet Hulk was a great animated movie.
Mm-hmm.
Probably the best one out of Marvel.
They gave him a little story. Hey, you're too dangerous.
Yep.
Throw you here, and you get it right away.
Does the Illuminati come into Marvel? The Marvel movies.
Maybe down the line when they get the
so.
Fantastic Four and stuff. Maybe. Or maybe they'll hint at it.
I kind of see him kind of setting it up behind the scenes now.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was more like this is Illuminati, it's our computer thing, and it predicts things for us.
Yep.
Or something to that nature.
Well, I the reason I say that is that Hulk gets, when at the end of Age of Ultron, when Hulk shoots himself into space, right? I could see them going back and going, yeah, he didn't really shoot himself. Like, he thinks he shot himself, but
I don't know.
Strange kind of helped him get in the ship. You know?
I kind of don't like that, though. I feel like that takes away of, his, like, I can't be around people. I'm too dangerous.
Maybe Steven is in Hulk's mind at that time and knows that that's what Bruce is thinking and knows that the Hulk can't get there himself. So he just kind of nudges him in that direction.
I guess. I don't know. I think that would be...
The whole reason that they do it is that... And then the Illuminati get after Steven at a monthly meeting and, hey, you know, well, it was an executive decision, and you know, you guys were busy, and I couldn't ask all of you, and the computer said that it was a good idea.
I think that's too much retcon.
You think so?
Yeah, I think that's not needed. I
just kind of want
to
see them in that room making decisions.
Yeah, like maybe certain things. I feel like the Hulk thing is just too. That's one of the things I liked about that was that he heard Black Widow and he's like, I have to do this for her.
Right.
Because he loved her.
Right. God, what a letdown that was.
It was different.
I say letdown because I kind of feel like both of them had earned a decent relationship.
Mm-hmm. Well, this is the superhero world. You can't have happiness.
Oh, yeah.
Not for any long length of time.
Yeah, you're right. So Ronan's gone. Right? Does his daughter become Hawkeye?
I don't know. Maybe.
Because I think so. Because that's the way it is basically in the comics.
Yeah.
I don't know. How much of the comic stuff makes it into the movies?
Depends on how long they want to go and what route they want to go.
Well, I think they have the right idea on how to do it. They go, hey, you're the writer, you're the director. Here are the comics I want you to draw inspiration from for this movie, and we're going in this direction.
Yeah, but that depends on what comics they pick.
You get me from A to B. You can do whatever you want in the middle as long as we get from A to B. Because I think that's how Kevin Feige does it.
It also depends on what comics they'll pick to draw from, because there are a lot.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot.
I think it's what's made the Marvel live-action movies better than DC's live-action is that they have said, the studio has kind of said, here's the comics we want you to draw from. You get from A to B, and we're good.
And they're not rushed.
And you're not rushed, and you get to do whatever creative vision you want to do. And there's not a lot of studio oversight. There's not a lot of the studios stepping in and saying, no. Iron Man would never do that. You know? I think that was what was wrong with Thor: The Dark World.
There's a lot wrong with that movie.
I think a lot of it was the studios stepping in and saying, No. You have to kill Loki.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we need that emotional beat. Kill Loki. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Oh well, it's the end of Act 1. You have to kill somebody, or it's halfway through Act 2. You have to kill somebody. Kill his mom. You know,
he needs an emotional break.
Right.
But that actually is nice when it comes back in Endgame, and he meets his mom again,
and that's because Dark World did so poorly.
Mm-hmm.
I think. I mean, I know that I wrote off the Marvel Universe after that. I was like, oh, they've done it.
I never
had their run.
I didn't watch it until a couple years ago.
We went to the theater and saw it.
I didn't. I'm not a big Thor guy.
I fell asleep halfway through it.
I never watched 1 and 2 until 3 came out. I'm like,
okay.
I guess I'll watch the first 2. I'm like, Thor 1 passable, Thor 2 was terrible.
Yeah,
because I've never really cared about Thor as a character.
I think in that, but that's what I'm saying about the way Marvel Studio does it now.
Mm-hmm.
Is that you actually care about Thor now?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you do.
You know,
he has trauma.
An arc. He has some like serious stuff that you're like, come on, man, you can do it.
You've shown he's not just a god; he's a man, and he has flaws.
Right,
and he has weak moments.
I think what Marvel did, the template for the first 3 movies, Iron Man,
first 3 sagas, or
Captain America, Thor. I think the template of because those movies feel identical to me.
All the all the Marvel movies that are origins are cookie cutter. They're all basically the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What other ones are cookie cutter other than those 3? Captain Marvel isn't cookie cutter.
No, but I mean it's still.
I mean those 3 are cookie cutter.
Yeah, but I mean they follow fall, rise, fight somebody with the same powers.
And then Iron Man 2 follows the cookie cutter of this is how we do a movie.
Yeah, because that was kind of the same thing.
Because that was kind of in the same time period. And then Thor tried to do the same thing. Mm-hmm. And they had been losing box office returns. And so the studio steps in with Thor Dark World and says, no. We've given you guys chances. We know what we're doing. Mm-hmm. And Thor bombs compared to everything else, right?
Yeah.
So Winter Soldier comes around. The Russo brothers say, hey, if we're going to do this, we're not going to do a Thor 2. Mm-hmm. We're not going to do an Iron Man 2.
We're doing something different.
We're doing something different if you want us.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Kevin went, at this point, I've got nothing to lose.
Let's do this.
Let's do it. And then we get one of the best espionage,
arguably,
spy, thriller, superhero movies ever.
Arguably one of the best Marvel movies, if not the best.
Arguably one of the best superhero movies.
Yeah. I'm just talking about the Marvel. Yeah. But yeah, superhero, yeah.
I think it's up there with Burton's Batman.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean.
Yeah, it definitely is.
It's. I still watch it.
I
still go, oh, it's a lazy Sunday afternoon. What am I gonna do? Ooh, Winter Soldier. Ooh.
One of my buddies before we went to watch it, I'm like, oh, Winter Soldier, yeah, it's gonna be cool seeing Bucky again. Mm-hmm. My buddy's like, what? I'm like, yeah, the Winter Soldier's Bucky. He's like, oh, thanks for ruining that. And I'm like,
how did you not know that?
It's been out in comics for how many years now?
As soon as I saw Winter Soldier, I went, yes, they're doing it.
Yeah.
Yes, they're doing it.
He's like,
and they do a better job than the comics do with it.
Yeah.
I mean, the Winter Soldier comics compared to the movie, I would rather watch the movie than read the comics. And I mean the whole art, like the whole Bucky Steve arc that's in the movies is way better than what it is in the comics.
Yeah, certain things with cinema just work better because you have people emoting and you can feel the friendship between people.
Well, but that's not usually how that works.
Yeah.
So if you, like, the Harry Potter books, the books are better than the movie in almost everybody's opinion.
Yeah.
Right?
But they're so long. You have to admit so much.
Well, any movie that's based on a book, what do you always hear?
Book's better. Yeah.
Right? Not so much with Marvel and comics anymore. I mean, Demon in a Bottle with Iron Man is better than Iron Man 2.
Yeah.
Right? What's the one I'm thinking of? Civil War, right?
Yeah.
The movie is better than Civil War the comic.
I don't think so. I disagree on that.
You don't think so?
No. I think Civil War the comic is much better.
I don't know. The way Cap gives up at the end, the way that, I mean, I think in Civil War the movie, like, the two sides were way closer than what they were in the comics.
Oh, of course, yeah.
No, I mean, like, harder to choose who's right.
Oh, I think
and who's
like,
wrong.
Yeah.
In the
I guess
the comics, it's kind of like, okay, at least for me, Tony Stark has a really good point. Nobody is allowed to just run around and do whatever they want. Everybody is held accountable to somebody, and right now we're not held accountable to anybody. And I think it makes Captain America look like a whiny teen, stomping his feet, going, "No, I don't want to listen to the government. No, I don't want to listen to the UN. I want to be able to smash whoever I want."
It's yeah. There's that, but like I said, what we talked about this before when there was the side comics. I can't think what they're called. That reporter and finding out how they got to that point where Tony was murdering people. Like he had Green Goblin kill somebody from Atlantis, and stuff was set up to be that way to frame this.
Yeah, but was that retconned or was that?
No, that's part of it.
That was at the time.
Yeah, it was like running concurrently, I believe. And it built up at the very end. But
I mean,
the sentiment is still there, though.
But that's so that they can return to the status quo when it's done, right? If you take that out, so that it's actually going to change the series going forward, right? It's a lot harder to be on Steve's side if Tony didn't set anything up. If it just happens,
kind of.
Just saying it's a personal thing for everybody.
Yeah, it's there could have been a healthier balance between the two of them,
right?
Because Tony was kind of
the movie nails.
Yeah, Tony was even in the comics he was still like, it's my way or the highway. You're either under my boot or you're with me,
right?
And Steve's like, no.
And that's what I think makes it a little bit, or at least in the movie, is that Tony does have a really good point about being held accountable. Jeez, Pete's.
I'm not talking about, I guess I should say, maybe not the message, because it's all basically the same, but there was more characters. There was a bigger universe. It had more everybody.
Definitely.
If they could have made it just like that, I'd been like, yeah, the movie's better.
Yeah.
But I like that there was more interactions. But there's only so much you could do in 2 hours.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. And I think that you're going to see Civil War 2 down the line. But I think that
it'll have to be different, though.
Of course it will.
Yeah, because there's no Robert Downey Jr. to be Iron Man.
Well, he said he'd come back.
Maybe. I kind of like that he killed him off.
It's comic books, man.
I know, but I like that they killed him off.
Ever.
No, he's never dead.
Look, they brought Gamora back in the next movie.
That was set up to be that way. But Robert, he was like, I'm out. The actor says I'm out.
He said but on Joe Rogan's podcast, he said that he would come back if it was right.
Yeah.
You know, he's just not going to be Iron Man. Right? Which sets up Ironheart and all this.
Yeah.
But anyway, I think that's what makes the movies so far, at least Marvel movies, better, is that the changes stick. Right?
Yeah.
There's no, in the comics, the changes stick for a while, and then there's a reset, and we go back to the status quo.
You have to do that with comics, though, because they're shorter lived, where movies are decades in the making, and after so many years, you're like, all right, well, They miss this character. Let's bring him back.
Okay, so for example, right? Superior Spider-Man, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
I think that ran 2 or 3 years.
Right. But we know that there's spiders in other universes, right?
Mm-hmm.
So why can't Superior, like, I think Spider-Man, Peter Parker, and Doc Ock both kind of being Spider-Man at the same time. Super interesting, right?
Yeah, that's happening.
In a way, yes.
Yeah, he's in a clone body.
Right, but it's not. But we know that that's going to be reset.
Eventually,
right?
Yeah.
And I don't know, I just think it'd be I guess some of those changes do stick, don't they? I mean, like, Batman is not.
He's not who he used to be.
60s Batman.
Even Spider-Man's not who he used to be.
Spider-Man is not. Yeah, exactly.
Everybody. But it's a slower burn of gradual change of what.
How does that work for you mentally? Just out of curiosity. We're getting way off topic here.
What do you mean? Like,
so, when I'm reading comics, right,
mm-hmm.
I don't think of them as being years between them,
mm-hmm.
unless it's specified, or being even, it might not even be days, it might be hours between the two comics.
Yeah, like
right?
Civil War 2 is only a few months before the newer stuff that came out after that.
Right.
Like Tony's talking to Captain Marvel, who a few months ago beat him into a coma.
Right.
Like they're friends.
Exactly. Or, like, take a Batman comic, like a one-off where we have a bad guy in one issue. Batman's going to beat him in that issue, and next month it's something else, right? In my head, it's, okay, Batman beats that guy in a couple of hours and then stumbles upon the Riddler's next big thing. Jeez, oh, Pete.
Yeah, he just loves to be in attention.
Jeez.
Loves the attention.
But, so comics do not exist in, like,
a linear time frame.
Like a decades-long time frame, right?
No, they really don't.
Where it's Spider-Man, this could be happening in a week to Spider-Man, this could be happening in a day, this could be happening in a month, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's a year's worth of comics.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's what I think about. That's why I think Dr. Manhattan's an interesting addition to the current DC universe.
Because he's timeless? Or because he reset everything?
He sees time the way we see comic book pages.
Yeah, he can go through back and forth.
Right? But he's in all of them at the same time.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And that makes it, I think that makes for an interesting character in that universe because of the way that he views time, and his power set is a unique power set in that universe. He's basically like...
Yeah, I understand the whole...
He's basically a molecule man, right?
Mm-hmm.
But with the ability to see everything at once.
Yeah.
Or his entire timeline at once. Right?
Yeah, and everybody sees him naked constantly. I said everybody sees him naked
constantly.
That's
a selling point to me right there. Is the naked blue guy. Yeah. No, I just think he's an interesting addition to the DC universe currently. If you use him right.
Properly.
Like Doomsday Clock, I think used him right. Right.
I still need to read that.
Yeah. Yeah, you do, because we need to talk about it and all the crazy stuff it changes.
Yeah.
It literally, it's like, I don't know.
It's a soft reset kind of thing.
Well, not only that, for me, personally, it goes, boy, does Superman even matter anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I don't think that's how you will feel. But with Dr. Manhattan in the DC universe, does Superman matter? Superman can't punch.
Does any hero matter then?
Exactly. Does any of it? Yeah.
Yes, I think they do.
It adds a nice big fat drop of nihilism to the comics.
I think they do, because would he intervene in things? Would he care enough?
Does it matter? because if whether he interferes or not, he can always change it.
I guess it depends on him. If it doesn't matter to him, then yeah.
Is it now just a giant experiment? And I mean, it's not even like a one above all type situation because he's being active in the universe.
Yeah. I'm saying if he doesn't care and doesn't interfere, then heroes matter. But if he does care and interferes, nothing matters. It's all up to him.
It's super. That's what I'm saying. You gotta read it. You gotta read it because it's interesting.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, we're at an hour and 50.
Yeah,
almost.
That's what I was thinking too.
We'll cut a little bit of this out for the intro and all that.
Yeah, and
yeah, we'll be back to talk more philosophical superhero stuff that isn't real.
But could be. Oh wait,
maybe it is somewhere else.
I don't know. It's a reflection on us. It's a reflection on our world.
Or are we just comic book pages and superheroes?
That's what I'm saying.
If everybody's a superhero, then when you write stuff that's normal,
read more Alan Moore.
All right, well, that's,
all right.
I don't know what episode this is. I'm just going to throw it out. I'm Arthur, that's Levi, and see you later.
Later. And what's happening?